Welcome back, you beautiful souls. It's Tuesday right here on S3, and we're opening up with your feel-good breakfast show. Now, prepare to be inspired for our next guest. He's a 16-year-old. His name's Lukhanyo Joko, and he's a Gauteng high school student who's learning to conquer the skies. Having before, he's even gotten a driver's license. Yeah, believe it or not, the man is here. Lukhanyo, how you doing, brother? Are you live? Are you with us?
Yeah, I'm here.
Good morning, man. How are you doing?
I'm good, and you?
Oh, so good, man. And it's so crazy to hear this because literally, like, when I was your age, I was making paper jets maybe and flying it. You're literally doing the real thing, man, at only 16 years old. But how long have you actually been flying for?
I've actually been flying for a few months now. I started in late January.
Oh, wow, okay. All right, so it's still fresh off the scene. But what was it that actually got you inspired into flying in the first place? I know for a lot of us youngsters, flying is just purely a dream, but you're making it a reality. How did you get to that point? And were your parents maybe involved in the decision, or was this purely from you?
I actually don't know how I was able to start flying at the age that I'm actually, because 17, I'm actually 17. 17 is quite a young age to start flying. And yeah, it was all my decision. I've always been interested in aviation, but I've never actually thought of being a pilot. I think I only started really wanting to be a pilot in grade 9 when I started looking at careers.
Oh, wow, it's insane because I was just thinking about these. Yesterday we had one of the first black female pilots to be flying an Airbus on the show. She took so long to get her hours. She explained the experience to me. And it's not easy, man, the amount of time and effort that needs to go into this. So what you're doing is insane. And then not only that, but I mean, solo flying is huge. How old were you when you did your first actual solo flight? And I mean, for many of us that have no idea what it's like, what is that experience even like, flying your own plane?
So I first flew solo on June the 23rd, which was about 2 days before my birthday. I flew at that time I was on 20.5 hours, and it was, as you can expect, it was quite a freeing and like exciting yet anxious moment for me because I had been training for so long, and the opportunity to fly all alone was finally there. And yeah.
And that feeling of actually flying, I mean, obviously you've got to be scared. I mean, you're holding this massive chunk of metal in the sky and it's all on you. Surely there's a bit of intimidation there as well.
Yeah, there was, but obviously I'd been doing it for so long that I was quite comfortable flying by myself.
And it's honestly so crazy. And again, for everybody out there listening, you say the man's 17 years old, guys, and he's literally becoming a pilot. I think it's so incredible. I've got to ask, though, you're definitely going to be inspiring a lot of youngsters and a lot of kids your age after watching this. And for the rest of Mzansi watching too, maybe you can give them some pointers and some tips. What exactly does it actually take to get your pilot's license?
First, I would recommend that you would get your medical certificate, which will it's just a medical exam that you have to do just to ensure that you're actually fit enough to be a pilot, but it's not like, it's not something to worry about. Almost everyone can become a pilot though. But in terms of work, I think there's a lot more theory and exams that you have to do than what's expected. Like most people think you just go fly, it's a lot of practical, but there's actually a lot of theory. So you have to be dedicated and you have to have a passion for it to work.
Well, clearly you do, man. I mean, juggling school still, I would imagine, as well. On top of this, it's no easy feat at all. And again, I gotta say this. You're 17 years old. It's so young. But let me ask you this question. You're starting so young, which means that you have almost any opportunity, and the world is literally your oyster to fly around with how you choose. What are your ambitions in terms of your career in flying? What do you hope to achieve and do in this beautiful airspace, we call it?
So I'm hoping to finish my PPL hopefully this year, by the end of this year. Then maybe the year after I matriculate, that's when I start my CPL. And once I get that CPL, I'm hoping maybe charter flying, maybe flying for FlySafair or Airlink, an airline, something like that. But to be honest, I'm not really fussy with any job, because as long as I can do what I love doing and still be employed to do it, I feel like I've made it.
Ah, man, you definitely have. And I gotta see, just watching and looking at some of these pictures, you look like one of the coolest pilots I've seen to date. So I can't wait to be lucky enough to get an opportunity to fly with you one day. But man, thank you so much for what you're doing. Thank you for inspiring, setting the bar, and letting your dreams literally materialize, man. Absolutely appreciate your time this morning.
Thank you for giving me the opportunity to actually come onto the show.
Ah, man, the pleasure's all ours. You've been inspiring. Ladies and gentlemen, that's Lukhanyo Joko, a 17-year-old young achiever and student pilot from Gauteng who can fly an aircraft solo. And he's done this all before even getting his driver's license. How crazy. How's that for dose inspiration?